Hello, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your prediction for the second half of 2026. It is a general collective reading, so as the messages come through today, please take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it is meant for someone else to hear. And please check your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. And if you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box of this video is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. All right, Cappy, before we get into your reading, I did some astrology homework for you, and that'll give you a better idea of what this reading is about and also what you can expect in the second half of 2026. So let me just get my notes here. Okay, so the reading and this cycle begins on July 14th, 2026 with a new moon in Cancer. It will culminate, if you will, with the full moon in Cancer on December 23rd, 2026. And for you, this will profoundly impact you because it will enable you to redefine personal relationships, shifting commitments, and balancing independence with emotional vulnerability. Because Cancer is your opposite sign, the cycle highlights your 7th house of partnerships. So the lunation on July 14th with that new moon in Cancer will serve as a critical relationship reset for you. Because this new moon is conjunct a retrograde in Mercury and squaring your ruling planet of Saturn, you cannot simply rush into any new commitments or make further progress in the ones that you currently have in your life. So this is a time period during Mercury retrograde. That first 2 or 3 week period of July will be more intense for you, and then it'll start to trail off as we close out the post-shadow period until August 6th. So I would expect between the time you see this reading and August 6th for you to be in evaluation mode when it comes to the commitments in your life, how you show up for others, evaluating how they show up for you as well. Your challenge during this time will be breaking past your typical, don't be offended, Capricorn self-sufficiency. You're wonderful at it. You are being asked at this time, though, to plant seeds of emotional vulnerability and to communicate your needs honestly to your friends, family members, lovers, colleagues, co-workers, even your bosses, okay? And even if it feels uncomfortable for you, it's important for you to start learning how to express when you feel that you need something or you want something or you desire something, to learn how to express it in a healthy way at the onset of feeling that you need, want, or desire those things, as opposed to waiting to see if the person will figure it out or getting upset later on when they don't. So it's just, again, trying to get you out of a comfort zone so you can be a little bit more emotionally vulnerable with communicating your needs. And then the action will take place. So from August on, you will be looking at those contracts which you had previously evaluated. And this includes all contracts. It could be with a mortgage or credit card company. It could be with your boss. It could be with your friends, your neighbors, your local community, you know, loved ones, family members, you name it. You think about any connection you have in your life, the ones that you are reevaluating. And again, people you're married to, you made vows to, people that you consider to be part of like your deep emotional alliance, if you will. Once you do all of that, there's a determination that you're making about whether or not the relationship goal that you want with that particular connection can be met or not. I feel like at this time you're not really connecting with a lot of new people at first. It seems like you sort of need to clear away some of the debris that you have with your current connections. And by debris, what I mean is that internal conflict you have about, should I forgive this person? Should I work on this? Should I not? Should I stay? Should I change companies, et cetera, et cetera. Once you clear that out of the way, then you do open up the gateway for some new connections. So from July till December, you'll be pushed to integrate these emotional lessons. Your ruler, Saturn, remains retrograde until December 10th, 2026. So this cosmic slowdown forces you to review your long-term responsibilities and dismantle any rigid emotional walls that you have. You will also learn that letting people support you is actually a strength, not a weakness. So a lot of you suffer in silence, and that's going to change for you after 2026. Moving into 2027 and on, you'll actually allow people to be an emotional support system for you. The harvest for you will occur on December 23rd, with that full moon in your opposite sign of Cancer, it's really like a massive culmination of your interpersonal life. There'll be a major turning point for you in your closest relationships, romantic, business, or friendship. Again, you're either severing ties or you are deepening the connections in your life and possibly deepening a newer connection that you're making between now and then. Ties that are unbalanced or lack genuine reciprocity will reach a breaking point in December, or they will just quietly run their course between now and then. Conversely, supportive and emotionally secure partnerships will deeply solidify between now and then, especially if you air out any grievances and you express what it is that you need. Those seem to be the relationships in your life that will actually strengthen between now and then. So you'll clearly see the results of your emotional boundaries by the time you close out the year. You will have been practicing, if you will, being more vulnerable. So by the time you get to the end of December, you're going to feel a lot more comfortable emotionally, asking for what you need, emotionally speaking. And you'll close out 2026 with a much healthier balance between your professional ambitions and your private relationship dynamics. So I also wanted to look at the chart for you in regards to connections. So your professional relationships, this is contracts and collaborations. And again, whether you're employed, self-employed, or not employed at all, think about a contract that you have with anyone. You have a contract with your city government about your town water, maybe your water bill. Do you have a contract with your septic company to pump out your septic tank? Credit cards, mortgages, health insurance providers. We don't always have to think of contracts in terms of like soul contracts. They could be any kind of contract, legal contract, financial, etc., etc. So all of those types of contracts, okay, professional, platonic, or romantic, we're going to focus on professional for right now. Your natural business acumen is getting a major upgrade in emotional intelligence, and this cycle will force you to look beyond numbers and evaluate the human element of your career or your contract collaborations. So you may feel stuck or delayed in signing new business agreements due to Mercury and Saturn alignments in July. Use this time to renegotiate old terms, revive past client relationships, or review any legal contracts for hidden vulnerabilities. During the 6-month transition, you'll learn that rigid top-down control will backfire. So your true professional growth right now will come from mutual respect, shared equity, and emotional buy-in from your team or partners. And in December, a major business alliance, contract, or creative partnership will reach a climax, and you will either officially seal a highly lucrative joint venture or decisively sever ties with partners who do not carry their own weight. And this could even be like changing of a job, or again, changing of an insurance company that you use currently, or even like automobile policy. In terms of your platonic relationships, this is your inner circle with your friends and family members, and maybe even like local community if you're like on very friendly terms with your neighbors. Okay, your inner circle is going to change due to a boundary shift. Capricorns are notoriously self-sufficient. I always say that Taurus is the backbone of the zodiac when it comes to making money, but you are actually the true, no offense if you're a Taurus placement watching, you're actually the true backbone, because you're very much, I can do it by myself and I don't need anyone, whether money is involved or not. I always say that a high vibrational Capricorn will meet and exceed any goal that they put before them, or any adversity that God puts before them. I mean, you'll plow right through it and keep going. However, this cycle will demand that you let your guard down a little bit with your friends and your family members, and it will rapidly filter out any of those fair weather companions that's sort of been clinging on to you. So the new moon in July, there might be some miscommunication, so you might want to watch how you're speaking, sending text messages, all of that, because even though you might have good intentions, it might be landing differently. You don't know how Mercury retrograde is affecting the person that you are communicating with, so just be mindful of that. There could also be some nostalgia in the month of July for you, and it might bring back like an old friend. This might be a reconnection that you are triggering, or a reconnection that they're triggering. But you could hear from an old friend, someone you went to school with, or someone that you connected with and just sort of like lost touch with. You'll feel a strong urge to assess who in your life actually provides a safe, nurturing space for you when you are stressed out and you need a shoulder to lean on. During the 6-month transition from now till December, you'll actively shift away from surface level socializing, and instead you will invest your limited energy into a tiny handful of friends who treat you like family. In December, this lunation exposes any and all, I should say, one-sided friendships and familial connections. And if you have been doing all of this emotional heavy lifting or advice giving without receiving any support in return, by the time you get to December, you will most likely close the chapter on those platonic dynamics or connections. In regards to romantic relationships, this is going to change for you also. Vulnerability and long-term vows, whether you're married or not to the person. And this is really the headline event of your connections for the cycle, because you are literally being pushed to balance your fiercely independent nature with the deep intimacy of a partner, whether this is someone currently in your life or someone that you would, desire to have in your life one day. So in July, if you're single, you are setting new intentions for the type of person that you want. And it's really based on, I need to be emotionally safe when it comes to love. If you're coupled, an old reoccurring argument or an emotional roadblock will resurface at this time. And again, it's a universe's way to push you out of a comfort zone so you can finally express what it is that you need, want, and desire in that romantic partnership. This is something you're not going to be able to ignore, so you might experience a tower moment in July with your person, but it's forcing you to sit down through the discomfort and talk it out with them, and to explain what your wants, needs, and desires are. Not to point the finger at them and say, you're not doing this. It's more like, I need this. By the time you get to December, a massive make or break moment will arrive for you. Healthy, resilient relationships that made it through those difficult discussions will experience a beautiful milestone. You might be making plans to move in together, get engaged, have children. Wherever you are in your connection, it will strengthen and you will move on to that next level. And that will be you deepening a commitment, a vow, if you will, emotional vow with this person. If you are married, and again, you're going through this difficult period and you're being honest and vulnerable, and they are too, there could actually be a vow renewal in December or one planned for spring of 2027. Relationships that are built on shaky ground or emotional distance, and you're refusing to be vulnerable, and they're not, there for you, and there's a break in the connection, and although you're trying to have difficult conversations in July and August, if by September there's not drastic improvement in that connection, most of them will reach an undeniable expiration date, and those connections will most likely end in early 2027 for you. So with all of that said, now we can get into the cards and see what we have in store for you. So let's tap into Capricorn's energy now. Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What else do they need to know for the second half of 2026? For Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have Stars in the Sky, Limitless Possibility, card number 51. Straddling Worlds, Wandering Between Realms, card number 52. And Sky Dancers, Surrender, card number 48. So you could be 48, 51, 52 years old. The bottom of the deck, we have Deep Diver, diving into a task. And this is all water. So this is you becoming, again, a little bit more emotionally expressive. Card number 10. And 10s in tarot are, signifying ending. Even the Wheel of Fortune is a 10. So there is something here about you first exploring your emotions and deciding what it is that you need from your professional, platonic and romantic connections, and then you diving deep in conversations with those individuals, and then determining whether or not they are staying or leaving your life. And same thing, if you are, let's say you're changing up your mortgage company. In the past, again, as an earth sign, as a Capricorn, you may have been attracted to, let's say, a mortgage company because the rate was low, right? The interest rate was low, and you're like, it's a 30-year mortgage, this is perfect. But maybe the company is a real shitbag of a company. because you're changing in terms of your emotions now are getting deep, you may look at that mortgage company and say, you know, I really don't like who they support politically, or I don't like their stances on certain issues, or I don't like their customer service. They might have a great rate, but when I call them for assistance or a question, I don't really like the type of people they employ. I don't like that interaction. So you may choose, believe it or not, to like refinance your mortgage with a company whose views align better with yours, and that when you contact them, there's more of like an emotional balance. Like the people on the other end of the phone are more kind towards you. So I feel like you're moving towards kinder, more loving connections. So getting away from surface level. And same thing at work. You might have a job where you have a great title and a great pay, but there's no emotional fulfillment. You may have a conversation with your supervisor, manager, or boss, July, August, and say, hey, I really like what I do here, but I don't feel very emotionally supported or fulfilled. Like when I'm sick for 3 days in a row and then I come into work, no one here asks me, hey, how are you doing? You know, and these little things are things you're going to start picking up on. So you might have that conversation, and then by the time you get to the end of September, you might be like, you know what? I already told them what I need, and I'm still not feeling any type of emotional connection here from these people. It all seems very surface level. So October, November may find you in a position where you are looking for another job, and come December, you close this one out and you start working for the new company. So let's see where we go with tarot for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. We are clarifying card number 51, stars in the sky, limitless possibility. Card number 52, straddling worlds, wandering between realms. And card number 48, sky dancers, surrender. For the Capricorn collective. Okay, one more shuffle. Thank you. I'm not going to take the ones that fell face down, but I will take the strength card, which sort of came out on the side. Let's leave that on the side there. Tell me more about this here, please. One more shuffle. Thank you. I heard weak. I think you're feeling weak. And I don't mean like you are weak, like you're not a strong person. Emotionally, like worn out. You know, like starting to recover, but not quite there. 5 of Wands and the 3 of Cups. And that's what you're looking for, right? That emotional connection with people instead of like dog eat dog kind of world. And then we have the Hangman, we have the 6 of Cups, and we have the 9 of Swords. And at the bottom of the deck, this underlying energy is the 9 of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the 8 of Pentacles. This is definitely you, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. This is you assessing with the people that you connect and work with. Again, professionally, platonically, or romantically. Because, right, 2 people are working on that connection. So there is an assessment. You're diving deep and you're assessing these connections. 7 of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and the High Priestess. So you will have clarity over the course of the next 5 to 6 months about what you're doing with these different people. Ace of Pentacles, that is the truth. So let's begin to clarify. I'm using the After Tarot deck. If you're not familiar with this deck, the images are slightly different on the cards. It does alter or change the meaning of them, and we'll go through them as necessary in your reading today. For Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. We are clarifying strength on its side, 5 of Wands, 3 of Cups, the Hanged Man, 6 of Cups, and the 9 of Swords. I hope that microphone is on. Okay, it is, sorry. For the second half of 2026. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Strength card is clarified by the 3 of Cups. The 5 of Wands is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. The 3 of Cups is clarified by the 3 of Swords. The Hangman is clarified by the Page of Pentacles. The 6 of Cups is clarified by, 2 cards came out. 5 of Swords and Ace of Swords. And the 9 of Swords is clarified by the Chariot. And again, this underlying energy, 10 of Cups, 6 of Wands, and 10 of Swords. If your connections do not give you emotional victory, you're closing them out. 6 of Pentacles in the After Tarot deck, we're walking away from being emotionally breadcrumbed. And it could be financial again. And then you have the 7 of Wands and you have Judgment. So this is a hard line. So you are changing or closing out some type of contracts here in your life. So interesting how that Strength card came out on its side. Limitless possibilities. So as you're reviewing these Three of Cups connections, professional, platonic, romantic, interesting, we have 3 cups there. You're not sure if you want to continue engaging with them, because it takes a lot of emotional strength for you to deal with this job, to deal with this friend, to deal with this romantic partner. You're always in recovery mode. You're not completely weakened by it, but they're also not strengthening you. When people pour into your cup, you feel strong. Instead, you're having to like rejuvenate yourself, which is becoming emotionally depleting for you. And again, we could just be talking about work here. You take it how it resonates to you. So Hangman to the Page of Pentacles. This is where I feel like you're going to start wondering, trying to get a perspective. Do I offer this person what my emotional needs, wants, and desires are? Because depending on that conversation, that's going to determine, because right now you're wandering between realms. Do I stay? Do I go? Do I keep them? Do I not? That's what will enable you to make that decision. You're going to have absolute clarity about these 6 of Cups connections. And the feeling here is, if you receive a combative response, or you give it several weeks or several months and there is no change, then it looks like you're going towards the new. However, if you get something where they're like, I didn't know that, I didn't know you needed that, or I didn't know you needed that to that degree, or I understand where I fell short on that and I'm going to do better. If they do better, because in the After Tarot deck, the 5 of Swords, there is no lying or manipulation or, cutting words. It's a very agreeable energy in this deck. So if that ends up being the truth, then you're going to keep the connection. So the Surrender card, 3 of Cups to the 3 of Swords, this is like you surrendering. When I have the conversation with this person or these people, it can go one or two ways. And I'm surrendering to the divine. Whatever happens after this conversation, I'm going to accept. This person is either going to show up the way I need them to, or they're not. So the 9 of Swords to the Chariot, I do see you being a little bit nervous during this time period where you're sort of like watching and waiting to see whether or not I am moving forward, we are moving forward together, or I am moving on from them. So let's begin to clarify. I always say your deck and the After Tarot deck confuse me because of the border around the card. But let's clarify the strength on the side here for the Capricorn collective. And if my camera, by chance, immediately shuts off, because it has been doing this during Mercury retrograde, then I will just restart the camera. But if you see a hard cut in the video, that's probably what happened. Clarify strength here, please. One more shuffle. Thank you. Strength is clarified by the 6 of Wands. That's what you want. The Knight of Swords and Queen of Swords. Bottom of the deck is Temperance. So I do believe that a lot of you would like victory with this professional, platonic, or romantic connection. You're also realizing that it takes a lot of effort on your part to keep this connection going, or you have to swallow down a lot of things that you want. You've got to suppress a lot. What you're realizing now, or will be realizing in the month of July, the connection has limitless possibility, but it requires you to be emotionally vulnerable. And again, it's not finger pointing that you did ABC. It's from this day forward, I need ABC from you. Can you deliver that? It's, again, we're not looking to make that person feel targeted. We're looking to make you be more emotionally vulnerable. And then they have the divine gift of free will. They're either going to meet you or they're not. But this is more geared towards you getting out of your comfort zone and saying, moving forward from this connection, this is what I need from you. Clarify that 3 of Cups. Clarify the 3 of Cups. Because I do think whatever this connection is, I do think that you want it to work out, or you would like it to work out. One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the 10 of Pentacles. We have the 2 of Cups. Of course you want it to work out. And the King of Swords. If you've seen my readings before, welcome back. If you haven't, howdy. Please click like, share, comment, subscribe. But for me, Queens exist in the present. They process the present. They process the past. And Kings take action. And so I have you here assessing this, going right now the way it stands. It takes me a lot to continue giving, emotionally nurturing this connection, or being present for it. It takes a lot. I do believe that you are going to then have a conversation because, again, kings take action. So it looks like one by one, because I don't know how many people you have on this list that you need to have this, type of conversation with. But it looks like the ones that matter to you the most, the ones that have been in your life a long time, or you want these people in your future, right? You want a relationship to have limitless possibility and go the distance. You don't want to have to cancel that, credit card and find another credit company. You don't want to cancel the insurance policy and replace it. You don't necessarily want to leave your job. You may not want a divorce or to leave this person or to end this friendship or to stop talking to your sister. Again, I don't know who this person or people are, but the feeling that I get from the card is you actually would like this to work. You just want it to be more emotionally balanced. It's time that you learn how to express what emotional balance means to you. So for those types of connections, it does appear here in July and August, you are having that type of conversation with these individuals. Hangman to the Page of Pentacles. Clarify the Hangman energy. And the feeling here is, I'm telling you this because I'm not telling you, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. It's just the feeling here is like when you're talking to this person, it's not like I'm telling you this because I'm accusing you of doing something wrong. I'm just telling you this because my emotional needs have changed. And although I want this connection to continue, it can only continue if my emotional needs are met from here on out. So this is what I need from you. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Hangman is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles. That's you, whether you're masculine or feminine. The Eight of Wands and the Empress. Yeah, I think that's what you will convey. And then that Three of Wands appears to be, you're going to, give this person some time to see what their response is. Or will they be able to meet your needs? So you are offering them the opportunity to bridge this connection or strengthen this connection by letting them know what it is that you need from them. And then you're going to sort of hang back, not stare at the watch, at the clock on the wall, but sort of hang back and monitor them, if you will, to see if they're now giving you what you need. And you're looking for action. You're looking for real tangible proof. You're looking for pentacle energy, not words. So if you tell this person, I really need to, one of my desires here, let's say it's a romantic partner, okay? I need to feel loved by you. I don't really feel loved by you anymore, and I need to feel loved by you. And they say, okay. And so every day they tell you, I love you 3 or 4 times a day. You're looking for action. And it doesn't have to be, I'm spending money on you. Pentacle resource could be, I'm spending time with you. That doesn't mean at the dinner table while they're looking at their phone. Or, oh yeah, let's watch a movie, and then they fall asleep, as soon as the movie begins. So you're looking for real tangible proof that they love you. Again, it's not just words that you're looking for. Anyone can give you words. One more shuffle. Thank you. So that Page of Pentacles is clarified by the Five of Wands, the Devil, and the Death card. Bottom of the deck, Nine of Pentacles. So that's what you're doing. You're sort of hanging back. Okay, I've expressed to this person what I need. 1, 2, 3, ABC, whatever it is. And now I'm going to hang back and watch and see if they're capable of doing that. Because in the After Tarot deck, the Five of Wands is there is no fighting. So it's not like I have to beat it into this person what I want. I don't need to needle them every day and remind them what I need. I have already expressed it. And they understood. Like, make sure they repeat back to you what it is that you're saying. So there's no way that they can come back and say, well, I didn't understand that. So make sure there's free-flowing communication. That's why I would wait to have this conversation until after August 6th. Because remember, with that Mercury retrograde, you might be speaking it very well, but you don't know how the retrograde's affecting them, especially if they're an air sign. It might land horribly with them. They might really not get it. I know my person and I are both air signs, and we've had lots of miscommunications in the last week. So just be mindful of that. But in the After Tarot deck, the Devil card, the people are unshackled from a pattern, from a toxicity. And that seems to be what you're doing. You're sort of waiting to see, can this toxic dynamic, and toxic doesn't always have to mean it's absolutely horrible, but it's clearly not emotionally supportive of you. And then you're going to hang back and wait and see, can it be rebirth or is it ending once and for all? Five of Wands. In the interim, you're straddling worlds now because you have expressed what you wanted, and now you're sort of waiting back to see, does the job show up that way, the friend, the lover, etc., etc. So clarify that Five of Wands. clarify the Five of Wands here. One more shuffle. Thank you. Five of Wands is clarified by the Star, the Ace of Swords, and the Four of Wands. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Cups. Ace of Pentacles. I was almost prepared for an ending there. I don't think you have one. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Wheel of Fortune. Four of Cups. And the Five of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have the King of Pentacles. So you're seeing progress with this person. They are meeting your needs in the Star card. Things are being healed. The Ace of Swords, you spoke your truth. The Four of Wands, you feel at this point that the relationship is changing, that it's improving. You're still reserving the right to walk away from it, but you're giving time. So you're seeing hope, okay? After you have this conversation, you're seeing hope. This could even be like you are a single Capricorn and you're going out on a date, and now you're not throwing at your, the first one or two dates that you have with this person, you're not throwing the kit and caboodle, everything at them, but you are letting them know that you need a partner that is emotionally expressive. And that's all you need to say. You don't need to give them any more of that. They don't need a full blueprint. You're not looking to attract the narcissist that's going to tell you what, they think you need to hear. You're just saying, what are you looking for in a partner? Oh, you're looking for ABC? I'm looking for emotional fulfillment or emotional vulnerability. And you leave it at that. And then it's like, wow, okay, well, this person is kind of showing up that way. So whoever this is, post-conversation, you're seeing an improvement in that Four of Wands to the Ace of Pentacles, but you are also reserving the right to walk away. So you're not going all in just because you have one good week or even one good month with them. Six of Cups. Tell me about the Six of Cups. Not going to take them. They all fell face down. Okay. Tell me about the Six of Cups here. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Six of Cups is clarified by the Lovers, the Page of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Pentacles shows itself again. So this is remarkable improvement in this connection. If it's a new connection, it's advancing forward in a way that you really like this. And you're beginning to become a little bit more emotionally vulnerable with this person as a result of you letting them know very basically what you need in this new connection. Again, could be platonic or it could be professional. Or again, you might go on this interview and say to the boss, look, the company that I'm at right now pays me well and I run a whole department and I love my job and I get to work from home. But what I really need is a work environment that does not emotionally deplete me. And you might take that job in that Ace of Pentacles and now you're hanging back and looking, you're like, wow, this place is the real deal. So there's a feeling of I can trust this, or I can start to trust this. I can start to be a little bit more emotionally vulnerable because I expressed a need on the date or at the interview, and having lunch with this new friend that I met at the pickleball court or wherever, and feeling is like, oh, I like this. I can become a little emotionally expressive. If this is someone who's currently in your life, a friend, a family member, or a lover, you are seeing improvements. And it's allowing you to be just a little, Page of Cups, emotionally expressive towards this person. Let's clarify that Ace of Swords. So I think what you're learning is being emotionally expressive or being emotionally vulnerable is not a detriment. It's actually a positive. Same thing if this is with a friend, You're like, hey, I noticed our friendship has been kind of distancing itself, and I really don't want our paths to diverge. I like having you in my life, but this is what I need from you in order to stay in this connection. I think this person shows up for you. I think you're quite surprised. One more shuffle here. Thank you. You have the Queen of Wands. So again, queens exist in the present. They process the past. So here you are, a little judging, okay? King of Pentacles, and then you're going to take action. Five of Pentacles. You're going to move forward with this connection, and your Strength card now is upright. So whether it's new or whether it's current, that Five of Pentacles in the After Tarot deck, we are coming out of emotional or financial lack. So there's, again, taking action. You're like, now I can emotionally invest in this relationship. whether it's new or current, and it's strengthening. Three of Cups to the Three of Swords. So it looks like those 3 cups, professional, platonic, and romantic connections, are capable of being healed, or if they're new, there's a very healing aspect to them. Because again, you expressed what you needed, and now the person is meeting your need. Clarify that 3 of Cups here. Clarify the 3 of Cups. One more shuffle. Thank you. 3 of Cups is clarified by the Devil. That's you. King of Pentacles again, and the 10 of Pentacles. So now you up the ante. Bottom of the deck, 7 of Cups. So by the time you get to December, your feeling here seems to be, wow, the more vulnerable I am with this person, the more I'm receiving from them. So the connection is healing a lot more than I ever thought it could, or this current connection is deepening. And as a result, you are making the decision in your highest vibration there to invest more in the connection. Now this connection that you had in your life for a long time in that 10 of Pentacles, that you were this close to just slamming the door on, you realize that by expressing your emotional needs in a very concise and clear manner, without pointing the finger at them, but just stating what you need, you actually do get a positive response. And so you're upping the ante here on this connection. You now can see it moving into the new year with you. And that strength that was on the side is now upright. Clarify the 3 of Swords. I really thought I was going to do another reading for you where you were walking away from someone. So you have surprised me. I absolutely love this for you. I'm tired of seeing the heartbreak in the Capricorn collective. One more shuffle. Thank you. The 3 of Swords, which is healed. Page of Wands, Ace of Cups, and the 3 of Wands. Bottom of the deck, 6 of Pentacles. And you're not losing yourself in it. So you are still keeping a watchful eye, even though you're feeling more relaxed and more vulnerable. You're still watching. And again, it's not like you're watching their every move, but you are vigilant. Moving forward, you will be vigilant that in this connection, and most likely in all your connections in your life, when you express something that you need from an emotional standpoint, an emotional level, you're always going to be on guard moving forward and I shouldn't say on guard, watchful moving forward that that person or people or company, etc., will meet those emotional needs. So you are putting your emotional needs ahead of even financial needs when it comes to work or even relationships. Like, let's say this is your spouse, you have a lot of 10 of Pentacles resources. Maybe in the past you stayed because you're like, well, we're married or we're old or whatever, you know, we've got money in the bank together. So even though I'm not emotionally fulfilled, I guess I'll just stay and ride it out. But this, whatever occurred here is a breaking point in the connection for you to contemplate moving on from it. Something significant happened here. And we saw that in a lot of your readings since like December of last year. So you and this person are able to come back together again. Now, if this is someone that you have not spoken to in like 5 years, and I don't think this is your reading. It's your reading in the sense that moving forward, if you're more emotionally vulnerable with the people in your life and new people coming into your life, then yeah, I think that you'll have a lot more emotionally fulfilling connections. But I don't necessarily think this is like you calling an ex from 20 years ago and trying to fix a connection. This seems to be like someone who's in your life now, or maybe you just had a separation in the last 6 months or so, maybe a year. This would be a way for you to bridge that connection. So 9 of Swords to the Chariot. Clarify the 9 of Swords. So it appears here that you and this individual or individuals are deciding to move into 2027 together. One more shuffle. Thank you. The 9 of Swords is clarified by the 10 of Wands, the 3 of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, the Emperor. And there's a slow healing process that is taking place because of your past wounds, whether this person was the one who created them or not. But you are now on the road to recovery. Every day, more and more, you are dropping all of that heavy weight. And the 10 of Wands and the after, in your deck, we're dropping those 10 Wands. We're reaching for the Ace of Wands, which you had here, this beginning. So every day, it becomes less and less painful for you to engage with this person. So the current person in your life, the connection is healing and you're moving forward with them, albeit slowly, but you're moving forward. and you're still receiving those pentacle results that you wanted. So they're not just giving you lip service. And if it's a new connection, whatever vulnerability issues you had are slowly healing. You're feeling more at ease with this person as you enter 2027. Can't believe I'm saying 2027 already. Chariot, clarify the Chariot. And it all begins in Cancer season, okay, with this new moon on the 14th. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Chariot is clarified. Again, we go right back to that Ace of Wands, the Two of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Bottom of the deck. Oh my God. Look at both decks. Emperor and Empress. So this person doesn't have to be a romantic partner, but this person is now your emotional equal. How beautiful is that? When's the last time you had that in a boss, a business partner, a friend, a family member, a lover? So the choice here is made at the end of the year to continue to move forward in this connection, at this job, with this company, in this relationship, in this friendship. Again, even if this is someone new that you're meeting in the last half of the year, or you just met them recently, look at that beautiful deepening of we are now making a choice to move into the future together. So I'm kind of, I don't want to, let me correct that, because some of you are going to come at me in the comment section. It's not that I'm glad that you went through the Three of Swords, the Five of Swords, the Ten of Swords, or any of that. What I'm glad to see is that the heart is healing. And now that you're understanding, or will be understanding, that you need to communicate your emotional needs and not just assume the other person knows what you need. And again, not in a way where you're pointing a finger at them, but pointing a finger at you. Then I think you have healed once and for all this communication wound. And I think in your reading a year or two ago, it came up that like you have a communication wound. You suppress. You want to keep the peace. And as a result, you sometimes come across as a little closed off to people because you just assume that they're as caring and loving as you are and that they're going to know what you need just like you know what they need. And I think that way of conducting a connection for you has proven to be difficult. The person needs to know what you need from them. And again, they may or may not come through, but they need to hear it from you. You know what you need, and you may be smart enough to know what they need. But the person on the other end of this connection is not as emotionally in tune as you are. So it's beneficial for you to learn how to communicate what it is that you need from a particular connection. And there's at least one connection here in your life that if you're willing to dive deep emotionally and be more emotionally expressive with this person, this connection can be healed. And if it's a new connection, I really personally, as an energy reader, I really like to see this going. Your old relationship that you had with this person is done and over with. Because you're emotionally expanding and growing. Your partner, whoever the partner is, professional, platonic, romantic, they're expanding and growing as well emotionally. So the connection that you have is over. Moving forward, you are birthing a new connection. And same thing, again, regardless of who this person is. And if this is a new person in your life, platonic, professional, or romantic, that the way you did connection in the past is over. You are reaching full emotional contentment in a connection or learning how to acquire that in connection. I really like this for you. There's a lot of growth here in terms of healing that communication wound. And I think in that reading, I think it was about a year ago, there was something like some of you were taught from childhood, like, shh, you can't, like, you know, dad had a hard day at work, you know, shut up when he's home type of thing. You know, he needs to rest. Yeah, but I don't care what you need, Capricorn, you know, or I just feel like you had people that shushed you when you were like, but I need this, or I would like this. And I think you learned to compartmentalize your needs and that you would tend to them, but you almost like didn't trust other people to tend to your needs. And I think it's because a lot of you were like shushed or made to be small or stay small. So it has affected your adult connections. I'm not blaming you for every horrible thing that someone has done to you, but we have some culpability when we're not expressing what we need from a real healed place. And this is a very healed Capricorn collective that moving forward will be able to express their emotional wants, needs, and desires in a very effective way. And it looks like you have at least one person here that you currently have difficulty with that will make it their job, so to speak, to meet those needs. So I like this for you. Let's get one more shuffle here. Thank you. Hold your vision, fixed moon. So hold your vision on this. Bottom of the deck you have, what do you need to release? Waning moon. So I think what you need to release is the inability to say what you need out of a connection. And I've known several Capricorns in my life, and they always come across like they don't need anyone. I got it. I'm good. I'm taking care of this. I'm taking care of that. It has taken me a long time to get a Capricorn to open up to me. And they usually don't. They'll say, I can't believe someone did ABC to me, blah, blah, blah. But then if I try to give them any type of advice or anything, they're like, I know what I'm doing. Like, and it's a very protective defense mechanism. But I think that's going to change for you moving forward. I think you're going to release the need to put a big wall around your heart. And I think you're actually going to let people really love you. And I think you're going to be able to express what you need to feel loved in return. And like I said, you have at least one person, if not several here, that once they understand what you need from them, they're going to gladly give it to you. So let's get you 3 final oracle cards here. And again, if it's a new person, this is a lovely new friendship or professional relationship or even romantic partnership. It's healthy. It looks healthy. And if you're watching this and you're like, yeah, but I've been married for 20 years. I shouldn't have to tell him or tell her what I need. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, because wants, needs, and desires change over the years. And the person you were when you started dating them is not the person you are today. I mean, just in dating him now in 6 years, I've changed so much, and so has he. So if you're together 20, 30 years, 40 years, wants, needs, and desires change. So you do have to have this conversation if you want to heal the connection. Or they're my brother or sister. They know me my whole life. What you want at 50 is a lot different than what you wanted at 8, you know? One more shuffle. Thank you. So we have heart's desire. Look at that. Ignite your inner passion and desires, driving you towards your dreams. So igniting your inner passions and desires means being able to be emotionally vulnerable enough to express them. And then you have silent strength. Build your power in silence, waiting for the right moment to reveal your quiet strength. Well, remember this here was your strength here was on the side. And I think you have been very silent, giving to connections that have not been emotionally fulfilling you. And I think moving forward, waiting for your moment to reveal it, I think this is your moment to reveal it. And then your next card here is step by step. Follow the natural pace and gradually achieve your goals. So little by little, you will begin to open up more. The bottom of the deck, you have patience, time. Beautiful things take time. This is going to take time. Let yourself grow stronger in the waiting. So again, you're going to speak your truth here and then give this person time, not 10 years, but time. And I think you're going to see improvement rather soon. And as the year progresses and as you roll into 2027, not that you're going to be grateful for the difficult things you went through, but a lot of people go through difficult things and they don't change or grow. This is your opportunity to change or grow from that difficult experience and possibly even salvage a connection that means a great deal to you. So I have 2 people here willing to Empress to the Tower, and I have the Knight to the Emperor here. So I have someone here who's emotionally leveling up because someone else is saying, this is what I need to feel nurtured, and if I don't receive it, I'm out of here. And then you have the Sun and the Wheel of Fortune. It's a good new chapter of your life. Again, you have someone here who's leveling up because you're speaking your truth. And again, not in a finger pointing way, but in a I need this way. that is what I have for you, Capricorn, for the second half of 2026. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video on your mobile device if you're able to do that. And between now and December, we have a couple astrological occurrences, if you will, that will be impacting all of us. And so as you make these decisions and have these conversations, energy is going to shift. It will for the collective. So I'm going to do some additional readings, sort of like little follow-up readings in respect to these 6-month readings that I did, and I'll be posting them on Patreon. So if you can join us there, that's great. We'd love to have you. It's a small little group that I started within the last month. But if you're not able to join us there, you can't do it, you don't have time, you can't afford it, that's okay. Trust the source already knew that, and you received everything you need to know for the next 6 months. Until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.